everyone, it's Bridget A. from Drunk Dog Creative. Recently I've had a few people ask me how I organize my supplies. Well, that's a video that would take hours to go through my entire studio and explain that, because besides paper crafting, I design for crochet, I weave, I play with polymer clay, I play with resin, I play with acrylic pours. Basically, I'm a multi-crafter. My mainstays are designing for crochet and paper craft. But there's a lot. So my rumpus room in my house has been taken over as my craft studio. It's my happy place. It's my sanctuary. When I'm really stressed after a long day of work, it's where I know I can find a way to get rid of that stress. But when we come into this season, where even though I'm in Australia, I have American family of friends, and we have 3 holidays in a row: Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Now, only Christmas is the big one in Australia, although Halloween is becoming more popular. But I do have to make a lot of cards for all 3 holidays because of, growing up in the US, now living in Australia, family and friends, grandkids, daughter, son-in-law in the US, daughter, son-in-law in Sydney. I'm scattered, all over the world. So, and I have people like you who follow me who are living all over the world. So this is crazy season. I usually start planning for what I call the holiday triumvirate in July. Now, this year I got really sick with a respiratory illness, not COVID, and lost a lot of July to that. So I started a little late. And Halloween's not too bad. I make about 13 cards. Oh, great number for Halloween. 13 cards for Halloween. Thanksgiving, we're starting to talk about maybe 40 something, and Christmas is over the top, well over 100 cards that I make, because I also make them for my job and send them to all of the stakeholders for the university campus I work at, because I just think the ones you make are nicer than the ones you buy. So this is crazy season, and this is when things start getting very disorganized. Even though everything has a place, you start working with so many different materials and mixes that remembering which stamp set goes with what and what color, it gets confusing for me. So I'm going to show you how I organize the 3 holidays. So give me a minute. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to walk you through a very simple trick that I finally came up with that is working so well for me this year. So this is my trick. It is these boxes that hold 12 by 12 inch papers. They're fairly deep, as you can see, and they close. And what I've done is I've put all of the supplies I've bought for that holiday's cards in here, including these smaller boxes. You can see this. This is, I think, Kmart. It's a smaller box. And when I make embellishments or things for the cards, if I have any extras or leftovers, I put them in one of these and save it for the next year or the year after, because you never know when you're going to use them again. This is obviously the Halloween box. And I keep it in with the Halloween stuff. Now, this is Halloween, so everything is already done. You can see all the cards have already been made. They're ready to go, but I'm not going to mail them out this early. For the US, I have to mail things about 4 weeks before the holiday. So there's no papers or stamp sets because it's all done. There's leftover ephemera, and what I've got, although I don't want to reveal addresses, so I'll show you the back. I've got the mailing labels all printed out and the return address labels all printed out. And in the box, sorry, I just don't want to divulge anybody's personal details. So they are in the box, and I will add the envelopes too, so that when it comes time to send these about a week before, I just grab this box off the shelf. I've got the cards, I'll have the envelopes, and I've got the labels, and I can write the cards, label them, and send them. And then this box goes into storage for the next holiday that comes up. And my second box has Thanksgiving stuff in it. So I should be opening it this way. You can see I've already made a couple cards. There's that angled double gatefold card that I've just done a tutorial on. There's a few other designs I was working on, some that worked, some that didn't. So the cards, when they're finished, go in here. But I also have in here the designer series papers. Isn't that gorgeous? It's part of the mini catalog. I have the 6-inch and the 12-inch that I'm going to use. I have that two-tone cardstock that just came out in the scrapbooking catalog. And then I have bits and pieces, so the offcuts that I've done, any embellishments I might put on, and, no, where's my stamp sets? Anyways, I would normally have the stamp sets in here too. Most of them are up on my workbench because I'm actually in the midst of making these. But this is where all of the Thanksgiving supplies, these are different embellishments and things from previous years. When I have any left over, I keep them in a little container like this because I may reuse them. I may wait 2 years so I don't accidentally send similar cards to the same people. But I do keep them because then they're also useful for other things. And when the holiday's over, these can just stack on their own in my cupboard. And they're labeled autumn rather than Thanksgiving. And I can use them for other things. But while I'm in card making season, they go right in there with all the other supplies. You can also see I've got a Christmas box. And this one is waiting for me to start. So I've got some stuff I did from that wonderful card making class we did before they were released. That's a gift box. These are, again, bits of cutoffs and ephemera and things I've made from previous years that I might decide to use again in the future. A little deer, all sorts of little clay pieces, all sorts of things. I keep them all together if they're a similar theme. And I've got these boxes in my cupboard for all sorts of things. I've got boxes of flowers, boxes of, horse-related things, dog-related things, sentiments that I die cut or stamped and decided not to use. I just keep them all in these great little boxes so that they're at hand. I also have this year's Christmas stamp sets that I'm using from Stampin' Up, the Peaceful Evergreen, the Hanging Ornament. This one is so cool. And the Winterly Treetops. These are all part of sets. I've got my little, let me see if I can show these off. I put these in the unboxing video I did recently. These are little tiny snowflakes that you can use for shaker cards or embellishments. I've got a whole bunch of Christmas DSP in here. Some left over from previous years. Most of it is new this year. There's some, isn't that beautiful, sophisticated ones and some reindeer ones for the grandkids, all sorts of things. There's a few more things I still need to put in here as I start planning for Christmas. There's some other little bookfold boxes. Wait, do I have one? Yes. I was sizing one to put brownies in. So this is another one in the new mini catalog. This is a little treat box. Oh, is this in the mini catalog? Anyways, this is a treat box, and I was sizing it for cutting brownies to give people brownies. So this is one. I ripped it. My apologies, but you can cover this and decorate it any way you want. I wonder where the book... There's also ones that look like a little book. I made an advent calendar last year for my grandkids, for my daughter and son-in-law, and my other daughter and son-in-law. And so I'm going to use some of these types of things to make that. So this is the Christmas box, the Thanksgiving box, and the Halloween box. And that's how I keep everything organized for this. Okay, so you know how I said I have all those little small boxes and things? This is kind of what I do with them when they're not in the bigger folder. I've got a little wardrobe pantry type thing here. And here's the whole stack of them. Oop. Here's the stack of them. So they're, that's Hugo. Some of them are labeled, some aren't. They should all be labeled. But that's where I keep little leftover bits of ephemera and things that I use, because then they're on hand to use another time. Let me see. Oh, sorry about the finger. You can sort of see behind me, I've also got a whole bunch of yarn in all those black boxes. Those are all my inks and workstation. What else? My lights, my weaving, my Saori loom. It's very, very messy right now. Like really messy because I've got so much going on and I work full time. But that's just a little tip on how to do and store when you've got a lot of projects on the go. It's great to have those 12 by 12 or 13 by 13 inch plastic boxes where you can put everything for a particular project together until you're done, and then you can put your supplies away. So thanks for watching. Happy making, everyone.